Hey guys, this is Nick DeLeon from NickTube Studios, and today I will be reviewing the 1 to 100 scale Master Grade Zaku 2 Char Asnable Custom. Alright, so let's begin here. This is actually the very first Master Grade I've ever received for my gunpla collection. This is kind of impressive. So, I mean, I was really mesmerized by really the scale. Well, maybe I really apologize for shaking the camera. Kind of filming on a webcam today. But anyways, I was really impressed by the scale. I mean, I never knew 1 to 100 scale would actually be larger than the typical high grades. But anyways, let's get started with the review. There's pretty much not much to say for articulation other than it's pretty similar to, well, really not really close to the high-grade Universal Century. I mean, it's not as great as that. But anyways, head can go, well, it's kind of restricted in terms of articulation. I mean, it can go 360 though, but it's good. But here is just going to be kind of restricted by the Zaku's shoulder pad right here. So it doesn't really do much of a 360 spin. Another thing too, if I can take the head off here, cool thing though about the mono eye is really that it can it's probably the articulation, and probably that the mono eye can actually work too. If the reflection really isn't getting in a bit of a bother here, maybe I'll move up the camera a little bit. This is kind of what the articulation looks like. The back, there's a little peg here that where you can, or switch underneath the head here that can actually where you can actually rotate the mono eye. That's a really cool feature. But anyways, let's try to reset that so we can put my decapitated Zaku back in order. Anyways, the arms can go 360 degrees. The shoulders can bend at a 90, or it could do that too. The arms can go 90 degrees. The hands can go 360, and it'll come out and come back in because it's on a peg with some poly caps. The waist has no articulation whatsoever, but once again, like in the high-grade Universal Century, you're going to have a little peg in the buttocks where you can stick the bazooka in, but I'm not going to take it out. Can't really do much of a kick here because there's somewhat of a limit with the articulation in the hip joints. It's basically because of a lot of the restrictions that the skirt kind of have, but knowing that this is actually the first version of this Master Grade, it's kind of forgiving. And even though it's like a kit that was released in October 1995, which ironically was released a little before I was born. Anyways, the knees can go 90 degrees. The foot here can do a little bit of a tippy toe here, but really it's going to be, and then it can go a little up here. But see, the thing is with tipping it, like moving it side to side here, it's kind of going to be like restricted because of the ankle. I don't know, the ankle armor here. So it's not really that fun. Thrusters can go up and down, just like that. Let's go over the detail. Obviously more detailed than the high-grade Universal Century Zaku 2. That's no lie. I mean, you got a lot of panel lines, and especially these mesh pipes too, which really really made the best of the detail in this kit. There are two different antennas that the Zaku can have. This one's actually the TV show version that that's actually the antenna that you would actually see in the TV show. Another one would actually be a bit more of a modern take on it. It would look kind of like this, but it just makes it Well, actually, it looks pretty cool, but I still like the TV show version a lot better. So, lots of other details. I'm not sure why he's paying attention over there, but there's also some chest articulation too. If I can, oh, I could just do that. The chest can actually open up a little bit, but not as much as you'd think. And also another cool thing on the inside is if you look very carefully, you can actually see Char Aznable in there. See that? He's waving right at you. Hi there. I want to kill Amuro. Okay. So, lots of detail. So since I'm done with the detail, what's really good? Oh, well, maybe with the sticker sheets that it comes with, it's kind of like a combination of both the sticker sheet and water slide decals. So, well, maybe let's just leave them on screen. Other things too. It comes with a machine gun, bazooka, which doesn't have its handle on there for some reason. I guess because why not? Let's see. Let's go with the articulation on the machine gun. The scope can go a little bit up and up like that, and down as far as this. So it's pretty much only going to move 90 degrees. The handle here and the machine gun can come out like that, or the other way around, based on which hand you want to put the machine gun in. Bazooka. Scope has articulation far less the same as the machine gun, and the handle comes out again. How convenient. Let's see. Char Zaku also comes with the these thingamabobbers here. I don't know what these are. If you know what they are, just leave them in the just put it down in the comments. We could just say it's his metal lollipop. Let's see. It can also it has a little bit of a thing here that you can stick it in to the side skirt here because it's on a peg. It'll go in somewhat like that. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's gonna stick in there somewhat like that. Yeah. These lollipops don't really stick in there all that well. In fact, you could actually put some dum-dum suckers in there, I'm guessing. Yeah, and now Char Aznable's became the Candyman since his pink Zaku looks kind of like I don't know, Starburst or whatever. Yeah, why not? It also comes with this kind of gun, this 175mm gun here, which I have no idea where it came from. I guess it's probably well, it doesn't really look like a Magella top cannon. I will say that. However, the handle here on this side actually has some articulation. I don't really like this weapon so much, so yeah. It also comes with a heat hawk, which is gonna start out red, but you're gonna really need to paint it whatever. I painted it with like a metallic black and then some glow-in-the-dark orange, which the glow-in-the-dark orange is typically my standard colors for painting like beam weapons and heat swords for the Zeons. And then not only that, it also comes with as many as 6 different hands. Let's see. Let me just take off these hands here. The hands that I had on here are actually these regular open hands here that really are only meant to be shown with the Zaku without its weapons. The hands that you really use in order to show it off with weapons is really these manipulators here, which if I can get it on screen, you can actually close in like that. The middle ring and pinky fingers are actually going to be connected to each other, so you can't really flip off the screen. And my computer's trolling me again. Woohoo! The trigger finger here is on an individual one, and then the thumb can also move too. And it's saying that it's a great day for the Vikings and the Packers to, well, really for the Vikings to kick some ass against the Green Bay Packers. That's totally irrelevant. You can see that I'm wearing my Minnesota jersey anyways, so I'm bound to be celebrating. And then the same hand, it's great that they gave 2 manipulator hands for both left and right hand. That'd be great for holding 2 different weapons. That's awesome. And then they have closed fists, which you cannot pose weapons in. It's more like if you wanted to have him in a punching phase where he wants to beat the crap out of people, then why not? Let's try to get his hands back on there. So, now it is time for some comparisons. If I get my thing's antenna back on here. There, so now it's time for some comparisons. Let's go with an old school kit that I really like having. That's the first grade RX-78-2 Gundam, which he's been sitting in a box for quite a while, because who knows, it's probably about time he's going to be having his funeral. Yeah, he's shy. So, in comparisons, the 1:144 scale, first grade RX-78-2, which is really only going to be going up to as high as his hips. And then with the high-grade Universal Century Zaku 2, which is the green one, not Char's, more or less the same. You're going to have more or less the same of the results. And these are all my kits that I've gotten so far. It's kind of hard to collect because, you know, I don't really have a jet. Because I'm still really young and I don't really have a job. Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that. I will get it soon, though. It's just a lot of employers are very shy of me. But anyways, let's get back to the review. So, now it's time for the verdict. Let's start off with the bad parts. Maybe some of the parts here, despite being an old kit, there are some parts that are difficult to put together, like these pipes here. I had to actually use some tester's glue to put in. That's all for all the pipes here, just to make sure that they stay put. The antenna comes off a little easy, but that's because it's not on a ball joint or anything. It's pretty much a simple peg that you put inside the head, which I'm supposing would have to be glued in, but who really cares? Let's see here. Probably the instructions too, because they pretty much just threw in some generic polycaps in there and didn't really label it correctly. They didn't really label the instruction manual so correctly because they've been asking for more of the polycaps than I really had. In fact, this is actually the part where it kind of gotten difficult to get put together, where they were asking for primarily G-type polycaps, but there's not enough of them in there. And really, it was kind of surprising, because at least I was lucky enough to find some leftover generic polycaps that I pretty much had to stretch in order to put it in the side skirts, which is really the only thing left that I had to put in there. So, well, as long as it's done, it's kind of forgiving. I really wish that they would have created an instruction book that actually had accurate inventory of every single part, including the polycaps, because it was kind of sad to spend as many as 3 days trying to put this thing together. The positives. That's the best part of it. I really like that all these. I really like all the detail that's on here, especially with these pipes that run down his head, chest, and legs, which is really cool because it really had a lot of detail, especially with the springs that come with them as well. Really brought out the best of it. It made it look so realistic. I mean, I was so impressed with it. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I'm just getting I'm just trying to keep myself up a little bit because I've been having trouble sleeping tonight. And I think I'm going to be feeling more or less the same because it's New Year's Eve and I'll be celebrating it tonight. I really like also that they have some awesome manipulators, so you can actually do some pretty good articulation with some of the fingers here. If you want to have them pose with, like, really even like a thumbs up too. Like I said, he's giving a thumbs up because Minnesota kicked Green Bay's ass. Skull Vikings. There are lots of weapons too. They had as many as like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different weapons. That's actually more than really what the Zaku had. The Zaku really only had 5. And it was really kind of complimentary too that they had the polycaps in this kit too, which I was really surprised because, you know, I thought like during the time they never had polycaps. Just suspecting what kind of results I got from the first grade arc 78-2 Gundam. Really, that's all I have to say for the Master Grade Zaku 2. It would be like about 2,500 yen in Japan, which, if you convert it, would be about 25 bucks here in the US. So really, this is the review for the high grade Universal Century Master Grade MS-06S Zaku 2, and make sure it's the Principality of Zeon, not Zeon Dukedom. See you guys later.